This is the 2026 Range Rover Autobiography. The P530 standard wheelbase. Is it the ultimate luxury SUV? Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. We're back at Land Rover Shreveport for today's video. If you want to know more, check out the link down in the description of the video. The exterior color is Santorini black and has an ebony interior. And we're going to find our Pixel LED headlights here on the front end. Give you a quick look at everything coming to life. Your signature daytime running lights. There are the headlights. They're going to be low and high beam LED. So a lot of good lighting, and that's not the only lighting option that you have here. You also have right down here, and I think it's nice that it's something that's a little different other than a round head or a round fog light, but you do have your LED fog lights right down here too. Now, something that works well in my personal opinion, because I know a lot of you don't like a lot of gloss black on the front end of your vehicle. You have a different finish. There's actually no gloss black here as far as where you would normally see it. Now this does have a gloss finish on it with a silver finish, but it looks nice. It's not going to show damage the same way that a gloss black finish will. We'll have our traditional look with the grille right here, the Land Rover logo prominently placed, and then obviously the Range Rover logo across the hood. As we work our way down, we're going to find the lower grille area right here. There is your front view camera. There is a camera for every possible view that you could want. And we'll work our way around this side. In this particular case, with the all-wheel drive model, on air ride suspension, we're going to have the 23-inch wheels. Now, these are not going to be the 21-inch wheels that would be just your default wheel. Gloss black is the finish. And then we're going to come up here. I like what we have here as far as some of our exterior trim goes. It's not too much, it's not too little. You know that it's a Range Rover when you look at it. So a nice little bit there that's not at least an overload in my opinion. There is your remote. You're going to have lock, unlock. You can turn the headlights on and off to locate your vehicle if you need to, and you can open and close your power tailgate. Now there is a mechanical key located inside of this remote if you ever need to get into it. If the battery in the remote, or the key fob as some call it, dies, you can use that to get in over on the driver's side. And then talk about our side view mirrors. Everything you want is going to be here. Number one, they're going to be power folding. The turn signal indicator is built in here, as you can see. It's going to be heated, power adjustable, and you're going to have your blind spot monitoring inside of the mirror right there, so you can see that. Now, let's talk a little bit about these doors, because there's a few things to talk about. You've got the button right here on the door handles for passive entry, so you can push that to lock and unlock the doors. You're going to have that on the front and rear doors. These are the deployable door handles. So what's going to happen here is when you lock the vehicle, they go into the door. When you unlock it, they come back out just like this. And that's not all we have. I might have my cameraman come over on this side so I can show you what's going on with the soft close feature. We're going to have that on the front and rear doors. Nice large windows. That's going to get the job done for great visibility. Plenty of space to work with where that's concerned. You've got a panoramic sunroof up top, and not one, but two shark fin antennas right up here. So we're going to have that going on. A nice clean look back here with the lack of the exposed rear window wiper. It is here, it's just neatly concealed away inside of the rear roof spoiler. Now, we're also going to have LED lighting out back. Turn that on just so you can kind of see what's going on there a little bit. Show you those. They're nice and bright. You might not be able to see that as well in the day, but I promise you at night it is unbelievably bright. And we have that same finish effect with some of our trim work here on the rear. Right here, this area with the bumper, the lower portion right here. You're also going to have your tow hitch receiver right here if you want to tow something, which is actually a pretty impressive number. You can tow as much as 8,200 pounds with this model. One of the big advantages to going with this particular model is if you want to be able to get up and go quickly, it will do that thanks to the 4.4 liter twin turbo V8 under the hood and under the plastic. We're going to show you what's actually there. Just nice to see that without that huge plastic cover. 523 horsepower, 553 pound-feet of torque, mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. 0 to 60 will be in about 4.3 seconds. top speed 155 miles per hour. We're going to work our way over here to the window sticker so I can tell you what the MPGs are, at least estimated. We're looking at 16 city, 23 highway, 19 combined, and 5.3 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven. Your gas tank will be located over here on the passenger side, and you will have a gas cap instead of capless fuel fill. When you fill up, you have a 23.8 gallon gas tank. Let's talk about some of the more practical usability here. You already know about your towing capacity. You can reach under here if you want to and use the button on the split tailgate to open things up. And here's why it's a split tailgate, because you have that upper and lower section. This actually is the tailgate suite back here where you can sit back here. You've got the lights that are shining down from up here on the top portion to light things up after dark. And it's a really neat little tailgating experience. Now, how about your cargo capacity? Well, we're looking at a 41 cubic feet all the way up to maximized about 83 cubic feet. Now, as far as maximizing your cargo space, you can push these buttons forward. That's going to lay those seats down as flat as they will go. And then when I pull on it, pull on those releases or buttons, then it's going to bring those back up. Just to let you see that happening in action. Actually do it fairly quickly, but that's not all you can do back here. There's actually something else that's very interesting, and that has to do with the cover right here. This is actually power, and when I hold this button down on the top, just like this, I actually just press it, it's going to bring the cargo cover down, or if you need to get that back up and out of the way, you can push that button in the front right there, and it will go back to that position. There's also the ability to lower the center console area right here. That's why this looks so big compared to what we normally see. We're going to show you that in a little more detail later on. But what I'm going to do is have my cameraman come out here. We're going to show you some interesting things to do with the air suspension. In fact, I'm going to just enjoy being lazy and sit here on the seat. I'm going to raise the air suspension here and let you see how quickly it goes up. And keep in mind, my 190 pounds is sitting here on this tailgate, and it still goes up very quickly, as you can see. And it even raises the front end up just a little bit. But the advantage here is that you are going to be able to help yourself out with raising and lowering the rear, depending on what you need to do cargo-wise. Now, I'm going to push that front button. We're going to let the air back out, and you can see how quickly the back end goes back down. And you can stop it at any point that you want to, depending on your situation. And one more thing to note here, if you're curious, yes, this cargo cover is removable, so you don't have to worry about that. We will show you real quick. We do have some cargo area lighting back here if you want to take advantage of that. And one more important nugget for you back here, and that is going to be what we find in this area right here, your spare tire. Now, you can get this floor all the way up and out of the way. It makes it very easy to gain access to that spare tire if you need it. But I tell you what, it's nice to have that peace of mind and know that you don't just have a tire repair kit. Okay, let's talk about what your second row passengers are going to find. There's a lot going on here. First of all, nothing out of the unusual or ordinary, I should say. Panoramic sunroof. The front portion will tilt and slide open if you want to. Now, there is a power shade that I can actually draw forward with the touch of a button on the driver's or the passenger door here, and you can see that shade going back forward. And that's not all you can do here. There's actually quite a bit going on with the door panel. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you the door panel first. So we're going to show you over there on the driver's side. A lot of room with the armrest. Now, those switches that you see right there, number one, you've got your positioning for your seats adjustable. They can go different directions. You can adjust things back and forth, frontwards and backwards, whatever you want to do. Now, with those switches that you see in front of the button for the window, that one at the top, you can mute and unmute the radio, then you can adjust the power shade, and then you can either use the power shades for the windows themselves, or you can open the window. And you can also, down there, you see that arrow is pointing right or left. You can do that and actually use that, or one or both, to open and close the windows. Now, here's what I'm going to do. We're going to go over here and focus on this side. I have the arrow pointing this way because I'm going to show you how this works with the power shade, just like that. There's your power shade, the privacy shades that are going to come up for your passengers if they want that. They can do that. Or if you want to take a nap, maybe have that privacy shade up and lay all the way back here, because these seats do go pretty far back. And you also have seat memory right there. That's pretty interesting. Also the large door bin, all of that's going to be here. Now, we're going to have our air conditioning vents right here. We're also going to have air conditioning vents on the rear of the center console. That's going to be right down here, and a little bit more to talk about where that's concerned, because you can adjust fan speed just like this. You can do that on both sides, or you can push on that dial and you can turn on the heated seats, or you can turn on, let's do this right here. There we go. There's the heated seats, or you can turn on the ventilated seats. And obviously, if you pull back again on that, then you can see that you have the fan speed. You also can adjust temperature. Very simple to do. A lot of connectivity going on here. You've got your power outlet right there. If you want to take advantage of that, you've got a 12-volt power outlet on either side right here. We have the USBs. On the back of the seats, we're going to have the rear seat pockets. That's going to be right there on both seats, but that's not all we have here. I'm going to show you one thing. In fact, let me grab the camera real quick and show you this control right here, just so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to hand that back. If somebody needs to adjust the headrest height right here for this middle seat, they can do that. We're going to drop that right back down, and then as soon as I do that, I am going to go ahead and push this button right here, and here's what happens. I told you about this earlier in the video. Here is the center console for your rear seat passengers. Some really cool features going on here. A lot of different things that can be done here. A little bit of space within there, as you can see, depending on what they want to do with that, or we can have even more space. And guess what? A couple more USB ports as far as that is concerned. And that's not all we have. I've got the screen on now, so we can slide that up and you can see what all can be done. Can adjust climate if so desired. We can hit home right there and go back and go to seats and adjust that. Let me get that to work for me. Come on, don't let me down. And there we go with the seats. You can turn on the massage seats and do whatever you want to do with that. You've got different features and different things you can do depending on what you need to control. There's so much going on here, we can almost do a full tutorial on this alone. Now you have adjust as well, so we can recline, do whatever you want to do right there. And guess what? If we push that, you can gain access to your cup holders. We'll let that go forward, and then we'll show you how this works. And all we're going to do is push on that. There's your cup holders. Nothing super duper fancy as far as that goes, but we do have the cup holders right there. Quite a few cool little features here. And then when that comes back, when you push that option again on the screen, that's going to bring everything back here. You also have your settings right here, so you can go into a few different things depending on what you need to do. We can go to quick, we can go to all, or we can finish up with that and go right back out of it. But some very cool features, very cool technology here in this rear seat area. Plenty of room for the passengers back here, at least 2 passengers. But I have to say, that's pretty cool. Let's see how the front seat stacks up to the second row. Before we hop into the front seat, I did want to show you one thing here. Notice what I pushed right there. That's how you get this center console to go back up into its stowed position, and then everything's back to where it should be. And the sticker price, don't share it in the comments section when people ask what the price is because they didn't watch the video. But it's $180,805. Let's see what else you get for that price. We're going to start up here with our upper console. And you'll have things such as your lights and different things along those lines that I know you're used to seeing. Here's the control for the power shade. This is for the power sunroof. We will also have our digital rear view mirror. We want to take advantage of that. You can do that. You can make adjustments on that depending on what you need to do. You've got your settings over here. As far as storage goes, you've got the upper glove box right here. And we have, let's get that out of the way real quick over there. There we go. Teamwork, right? And then there's your regular glove box right there in the more conventional position. Now we're going to go over to the passenger side door panel. I love that you have seat memory for the passenger side. You've got all your controls there for the seats, everything that you need. Now you might notice that lumbar support is missing. I'm going to show you where that is. It's in the center screen. Nice large armrest and door bin down there. Now we'll work our way over here to the driver's side and take a look at, again, we're going to have all of our controls for the seats, everything for your windows and your side view mirrors right here. If you need to do that, you can do all that, and lock and unlock windows and all that good stuff. You can also push that button right there if you need to fold the side view mirrors in. You can do that. Now over here on the left hand side of the steering wheel is where you're going to control headlights, fog lights, turn signals if you know how to use those, and the front and rear window wipers right here. We have our steering wheel mounted controls, everything for your cruise control, adaptive cruise control, and your heated steering wheel. We'll also have the shifter paddles on the back of the steering wheel, gear up, gear down through the 8-speed automatic transmission. And if we push the button right here, we're going to have the options come up for quite a few different things we can change. You also see the HUD settings right there. You do have a head-up display, or HUD as some call it. Vehicle settings, it's all going to be there. We can come back out of that, and you have your built-in navigation if you want to take advantage of that. We'll go ahead and take a look at the center screen now, our 13.1-inch Pivi Pro infotainment screen. If you want to turn the auto stop start off, there's where you're going to do it. You've got vehicle settings right here, depending on what you want to do for your driving modes. As you can see, there are quite a few for literally every potential driving experience, even down to rock crawl. You can configure everything right there if you want to. It just depends on your personal needs. And we can X out of that. You're going to have your built-in navigation, everything for your phone right there. Android Auto and Apple CarPlay are here. Media for what you want to listen to. And then you're going to have your slope assist right here. It gives you some information on what's going on if you're out on the trail somewhere. As far as angles go, you can see the position of the front tires if you need to see that, depending on if you're driving through water or mud or whatever the situation is with that. Here are your modes one more time. One of the ways you can come in here is to come to the screen right here. You can also adjust the ride height here. So if you want access for people getting in and out, that's going to work right here. You can go to normal, which is going to default to normal at 15 miles per hour, or you can go to off-road, and it's going to let you know when it's finished, even though you should be able to feel it from the driver's seat, but you have off-road 1 and 2. That's going to raise the suspension even more. We can actually feel that happening here inside of the Range Rover. As I said, it will go back to your stock ride height, normal right here, when you get up to 15 miles per hour. You also can go to auto if you want to and just leave that way, and then you don't have to worry about it. It will automatically select it for you. And a few different things you can do as far as different features and functionality that are going to be here, as far as the hill start assist and all that good stuff. A lot going on here. You also have your wade sensing right here. It tells you you can go as far as 2 feet and 8 inches of water, which is not too bad. We can come back here and we're going to show you something very important. I told you about this earlier on the main screen here. I go to air conditioning, and right up here, let that come up. There you see it right there. Adjust. What can you adjust? Guess what? That's your lumbar support. You have all the different options here, the headrest, the bolstering, whatever you need to do, the cushion, you can do it all right here. No big deal. You've got your seat heat. You do have the massage seats if you want to turn that on. And obviously you have that in the front and the rear, as we showed you earlier. At this price point, you better, right? We'll come back out of that, and then we'll go over here. Gonna have a couple more things to talk about as far as your compass. A few things there. We're not going to cover it in super drastic detail, but here are a couple more things that are very important. If you're looking for your different icons, here they are. You can see Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. How about your cameras? I told you there's cameras all around this Range Rover. So if you want the 3D view, there's where we're going to have that. We can go all the way around. Going to circle around for us, depends on what you need to see. We can also go right here and select individual cameras, the rear and then the front. We can go to that side view right there. We can do the same thing in the rear. And then if you want to do this again, where you bring it back to that view where you just were, you can touch those on the very outside right there. We can zoom in a little bit if we need to. You also have your off-road view that's going to let you see what's directly in front of you. If you want to hitch up to a trailer, we're going to come right here and it's going to show us the area where our trailer hitch would be. And that is what you have going on where that is concerned. So many things here that we could do a tutorial on this section only. Now, your cabin lighting, if you want to come into that, here's what we're going to have. All your different options right there. It's going to be hard to see with the sun being out today, but you do have your different options depending on what you want, what your preference is, maybe what kind of mood you're in. And last but not least on the screen, you also have your settings right over here. Let's see if we can get that to come up for us. Go to that gear icon right there, and then we come back out just like this. There are our settings, and you can come in and do whatever you need to do. Now, we'll work our way down, and we're going to see right here. Your wireless charging pad is located right down here. You also have a USB port and a little bit of storage space right behind that if you want to take advantage of that. Your shifter is right here. I like how it fits neatly in the palm of your hand, the button to turn the engine on and off, and your cup holders are neatly concealed away underneath this cover. You can actually move those out of the way and gain access to even more space. Another USB port, and there's actually a lot of space in this area, more than it likely looks. And we can move that back out of the way, close that up, take advantage of the center console lid as an armrest. You do have the armrests built in here if you want to take advantage of those, but it does tend to kind of get in the way of the seat belt buckle down there. And one thing, hopefully you can see it down there, the belt buckles are actually illuminated. That's going to be in all of the seats, front and rear. So if you want to see where the belt buckle is after dark, I guess that'll help you out where that's concerned. Now, you have a couple of different things going on here. You do have a center console right here, but it's also refrigerated. So when you turn that on, those blue lights are on and it's illuminated like that, that means that it's going to be cooling things off. You have two different stages, or you can just leave that off if you want to. And for those of you that want a sampling of the Meridian sound system, here you go. We've paired my phone and we're going to let you listen. I hope that does it justice. I'll tell you what, it sounds phenomenal here in person. Don't know if my microphone picked it up as well. You might need to hear it for yourself, but I promise you won't be disappointed. All right, here we go on our test drive with the Range Rover. This really tops things off. There is so much going on here. Great technology, a lot of great craftsmanship, obviously. And when you need it, you've got a ton of horsepower. I'm not going to step on it super hard, but just easing into the pedal just a little bit gives me the idea of that somewhat decent punch in the gut that you can surprise your passengers with, or maybe other drivers on the road, because I think that it's a large SUV, so it's going to be slow. It isn't. It gets up and goes, but what's even better is that it has a phenomenal ride quality. Very comfortable on the air ride suspension. The seats themselves are super comfortable. You've got so much going on here with the heated and ventilated seats. Everything is, as far as the front and back seats go, will have the massage function. Not too many vehicles can boast of that. And you can adjust the driver's seat and the steering wheel to adjust pretty much to anybody's height. So depending on how tall you are, well, you should be able to set things up just fine. And a very nice turning radius, that's for sure. Give you a little bit of an exhaust clip. Not really going to hear too much out of it. I didn't change driving modes. We're just going to leave it where it is. But just to give you an idea, it is so much fun to drive. Tons of room in the front and second seating areas, and all kinds of awesome technology to help you out, not only just in the general areas such as the screens go, but with all of your safety features. Everything that I know a lot of you are looking for. The head-up display, nice and bright, easy to see. The brake and the gas pedal, both very easy to manage, easy to adjust to. You're not going to have any trouble where that's concerned. It's really well-rounded, as it should be for the sticker price. And there it is, the 2026 Range Rover Autobiography Standard Wheelbase P530. It's a mouthful, that's for sure. Is it the ultimate luxury SUV? Tell me what you think down in the comments section. I would like to say a special thanks to my friends at Land Rover of Shreveport for loaning us this Range Rover for the day so we could tell you all about it. And a special thanks to all of you for being kind enough to give us the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. That's greatly appreciated. Make sure to share this video on your timelines on social media and subscribe to the Vehicle Visionary YouTube channel. If you would like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and we'll see you there.